Hi, I'm Mike Deedy, the head coach of men's volleyball here at Roberts Wesleyan University and the host of a new podcast series that will help us dig a little deeper into the great student athletes we have here at Roberts. Each student brings a special set of skills and experiences or comes to Roberts and develops new skills through their experiences here at Roberts. In this episode, we meet a student athlete that I'm very familiar with. He is a team leader for the volleyball team and another leader of the Fellowship of Christian Athletes organization here on campus. Let's get to know junior Paul Fillion a little bit better. Hey, Paul, how you doing?
Hello, I'm doing good, Coach.
Good. Thank you for joining us to tell your story. A lot of student athletes at Roberts talk about their accomplishments playing for their high school teams, but you came to Roberts after a homeschool experience and made your name in the sport at a club level for PACE. Tell us about the challenges of being discovered as a player without having the high school playing experience.
Yeah, so I think, honestly, I felt the struggle more with the other sports that I played because I never really played club sports. I played basketball and soccer before I played volleyball. But I kind of just played volleyball growing up a little bit in the backyard type of stuff. And then my dad eventually was like, hey, I used to play this one club. What do you want to try out for? And I was like, sure. And I thought I was good at volleyball until I tried out. And then I realized how bad I was. But I think, that club really developed me a lot and gave me a lot of exposure and connections to coaches and other people who knew the game really well. And so I think that was really the thing that helped me go from kind of a nobody to be able to have connections to reach out to people in the volleyball world.
That's awesome. And you know our volleyball community, it's a small community.
Mm-hmm.
So I played against your dad, many years ago. We won't talk about how many. And it's awesome because you are such an athlete. You have opportunities to play, obviously intramurals. You played a little bit of soccer and basketball. It's great just to spread your talent across there. You must have a really nice coach to allow you to do that.
I do.
You probably could have been a starter and key player at several different schools, but chose to come to Roberts and help start a new varsity program. What was it about Roberts that made you want to continue your playing career and education here?
Yeah, so it's kind of a funny story. I didn't even apply to any other colleges because I wasn't planning on going to college. And I just heard that Roberts was starting a program, so I thought I would be more marketable. So I reached out. I was like, I want to try playing another year. I'll reach out if this happens. If everything works out, then I'll keep playing. If not, then I'll trust that God didn't want me to go. And so for me, I just, I pursued an opportunity that I think the Lord gave me and walked through that door, and here I am.
Well, I'm very thankful the Lord put us together. Arriving on campus and knowing that we had a couple of you as club players who already played, that helped, and obviously the successes we've had. So it's a pleasure having you on the team. And a captain, let's talk about that. You're a leader for the volleyball team and for FCA. How are your leadership roles the same for those, and how are they different?
I think how they would be the same is that I'm trying to set an example. No matter what I do, I want to be able to live up to that standard that we want to set as captain and also as a leader at FCA. So I think in that way I'm always trying to think of what I can do to be an example to others and lead well. I think how they differ is kind of the practical applications of that. I think for FCA it's a lot more preparing devotionals and stuff like that and reaching out on a more frequent basis, whereas with volleyball I think it's more checking up on the guys, making sure everything's good, and trying to keep a good team atmosphere.
One is our team chaplain. It's nice because you overlap the roles there a little bit and bring Christ into our lives in volleyball.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we already mentioned your homeschool background, but it is interesting that you come from a very large family. You're number 9 out of 12. Okay, tell us about your role in the family and how has that shaped you as a person and a Christian.
I think coming from a big family, we all had to adopt the idea that everyone helps out and everyone contributes. And so I think learning from a young age to be willing to help, to be willing to do work, I think that helps me here to have a more selfless attitude. That I think if I do have a selfless attitude, it helps a lot. So I think being prepared that way. I think also learning conflict resolution with a bunch of siblings. You're with people all the time, and so especially when you're younger, there's arguments all the time, but then learning how to get past that and then exist with the people that you love every day. So I think a lot of those things have transferred to my college life and helped me out.
That's really awesome. Awesome. And I know a few of your siblings, and they're great.
They're amazing.
You all are. I would imagine some of the conflicts happen at the dinner table because I've seen you eat, right? So it's probably there. So, well, listen, Paul, thank you so much for sharing your story, and thanks for the viewers of this episode. Watch the Roberts Athletics social media accounts for more stories as we learn about the special student athletes here at Roberts Wesleyan University. Thank you.
Thank you, Coach.
Thanks, bud.